Hey guys, welcome. Today we're going to go over how to create the perfect Instagram grid. So before we start that, I'm going to go over some key Instagram stats with you. Instagram was established back in October of 2010. Shortly after, Facebook bought Instagram for $715 million. They only had 13 employees when they were bought out, which is a crazy big number when you only have 13 employees. So clearly Facebook knew exactly the path Instagram was taking, and their future was super bright. In 2017, $3 billion was estimated in ad sales on Instagram, which is huge. It was the first year that ad sales online surpassed ad sales on television. There's 800 million monthly active users, 500 million daily active users, 300 million daily active Instagram story users, and these numbers are growing daily. There's also over 8 million business profiles. First, we're going to start by talking about branding, theme, and consistency. You want to think of your Instagram page as your storefront, your window into your business. Your page needs to have a story to tell and is pleasing to the eye. People are naturally drawn to visually appealing things because we are all very visual people. How do you want people to feel when they look at your business through your content? Here's a quick tip. If you use a color theme on your page, you will pick up followers a lot faster than any other pages out there, especially real estate related pages. Keep in mind your logo is not your theme or your brand. Your brand is what defines you and makes you stand out in a crowded room. So, I have a few stories that I want to share with you that will help you get more of an idea of what branding is. So there's this man that lives in Lake Havasu, and he is a real estate agent, and he's known as the red cowboy hat agent. So the reason why that stands out to me is I don't know anyone who lives in Lake Havasu, but I know that man because I see a picture of his face with his red cowboy hat on anything that's advertisement for Lake Havasu. So clearly that's a great job at branding. He's branded himself as a red cowboy hat man that sells homes. The next one is there's a lady who also sells homes in Arizona, but she also bakes cookies on the side. So she's really known for selling homes and baking cookies. So she's the realtor that bakes cookies. And her cookies are fabulous. So she creates these super cute cookies with sold on them or little houses, and she delivers them to her clients at closing. And it's a perfect way to brand herself. So it's not just I'm a realtor, but she's the realtor that bakes cookies. There's another realtor that I know in San Diego, and he is a huge dog lover, animal lover in general. And he supports a lot of different charities. And so he's branded himself as a dog lover. Even his real estate logo has a dog in it. So every single thing he does has to do with animals. He even donates some of his commission to different charities for animals. Your brand should help others put a face to the name, something memorable. Consistency is statistically proven to boost growth in followers, engagement, and branding power. Be consistent on what your feed is really going to provide for your followers. Can this be time-consuming? Yes. Is it worth the time invested? Always. I like to say if you're not spending money, you're spending time. And there are plenty of apps to help you plan in advance, so don't worry. So first, we're going to start off by choosing a style. How do you want your overall Instagram feed to look? Dark and moody, white, colorful, natural, brown, or vintage? And obviously there's plenty other colors or moods with that. What kind of page do you want to have? A who or a what? Who is personal, a what is impersonal? It all depends on what your brand is and what your product is that you're selling. Next, we're going to choose our grid layout. Once you know what your style is going to be, you can choose a grid layout. A grid layout will help you organize your feed. It will allow you to know exactly what type of photo you need to post and when. There are 7 types of Instagram grid layouts that I'm going to go over with you guys today. There's squares, tiles, line by line, follow the line, rainbow feed, puzzle feed, and borders. The first grid is squares. Now, this is a really good Instagram account to follow. Her name is Tara Milk Tea. And she basically posts photos of her traveling, and she's a big foodie, and she's a very bright and colorful feed. So every picture that she posts is always set in just the regular square mode. So whenever you post on Instagram, we all know that we can post in either a square mode, or you can do landscape where it fills up the white space around the image, or you can do it, longer vertically and it fills out the space with white. So she's doing basic squares, and this is what it looks like. The next one is going to be tiles. And as you can see, the way that this is laid out, it's tiled to be a photo and a quote, a photo and a quote, a photo and a quote. Now, in the spaces where there's quotes, it doesn't necessarily have to be a quote. You could be giving away a tip. You can be giving away your favorite book of the day, whatever it is that you're selling. It could be a discount on a product. That's what's going to go in the quote layout section. And all the other pictures are going to be regular square images. The next one is line by line. So Beyonce does a really good job at this, and I like to say this is more for fashion accounts, but it's basically like you're reading a magazine because your eyes naturally go from left to right. So when you come to her profile, obviously if you click on one solo photo, sometimes it might not look right, but if you go to the whole entire feed, the whole profile, you can see that it's laid out to look like you're reading a magazine. The next one is follow the line. It's very simple. You're just going to post quotes in a line in order going up and down. Now, you don't have to do it in a row. You can actually skip the images and you can do a line, you can do an image, a quote image, every other post going up and down. But I actually use Planoly to plan out all of my images, so it's very simple if you use an account like Planoly to get a feed looking like this. This is a rainbow feed. A rainbow feed is very good, but it's very hard to achieve because you either have to go out every day and gather photos for whatever color your feed is going on that week, or you have to use a filter, probably on Lightroom, to change the colors in the image, which is also pretty difficult to do. But if you've mastered this, then you've mastered everything, because rainbow feeds are absolutely the best. Now, this is going to be the hardest one. This is the puzzle feed, and you have to be pretty good at graphic design in order to create this feed. I think they've come out with some templates that you can buy online where you can make this on Canva now, but most of the time you'd have to use Photoshop to create this. So if you're good at graphic design, this is a great feed to have. Basically, when you pull up this feed, you're going to see one large picture, but when you click into every picture, you're still going to have a story with that photo. So you want to make sure, if you are doing the puzzle feed, that you're keeping each photo being posted separately with its own story. Otherwise, people won't want to follow you because they don't want to see random photos in their feed. So each picture really has to be a memorable photo. The next one is borders. So borders are very simple, and it's actually a very easy layout to get. You can use an app called InstaSize, and you can place all of your images on InstaSize, and you can make these border layouts super easy. So Givenchy and Versace do a great job with this. This lady on the side I found on Instagram, but she does a really good job as well. She's just posting square pictures with a border, and I love that look. I think it's very clean and well put together, and you could take the most simple pictures and put it on a border feed, and it would make your layout look 10 times better than just posting regular pictures. And then with Givenchy and Versace, they do it where they'll have the images aren't just square, they have vertical and they have horizontal images. They kind of just play around with that. I don't like that as much. I like when things are very much like perfect and in a row, like the lady on this right hand side, Mama Me. But you can do either of those, and it just is a quick, easy way to add a little something to your feed and kind of bring it together so it's cohesive. Next, you're going to choose a color palette. The colors in your photos have a big impact on the overall look of your feed. You're going to choose 3 to 5 colors and stick with it. This is going to be your color palette. This will also be a big help in achieving consistency. So here's a few good accounts that I follow, and they do a great job with consistency in their feed with their color palettes. So the lady on the right, Hot Pink Pineapples, has a really great feed, but I wanted to touch on this. So she has a rainbow feed, and that is her color palette. So you don't have to stick to just 3 colors, but if you're doing a rainbow feed, you want to make sure that every single picture you're posting has bright, rainbow colors so it all ties together. The other two on the middle and the left, those are great accounts, and they do a great job with their few little colors, and they stick with it. The girl in the middle, Ariel, so she takes turquoise colors and orange colors and tan, and she really hits that hard, and every single image she posts has those colors in it, and she does a great job with it. And same with the Sunday chapter on the left. She takes her few colors, and she's very consistent with it. And this gives you a lot better looking feed than just posting these photos without any sort of filter. So I like to show these pictures because this was last year, so clearly these are older pictures, but whenever I was first working hard on my Instagram account, I wanted the rainbow feed really bad, and I tried for a little bit to get it, and I can't even stress about, I got so many more followers when I was doing this rainbow feed than any other time in my life, and it's because people are really drawn to that rainbow feed. But again, it is super hard. Whenever I was doing this rainbow feed, it got so obsessive to where I wouldn't even take a picture during Christmas time because I didn't have a red outfit on, because I wanted to be able to post that photo. So I wouldn't take it until I changed my outfit, and it was just getting too crazy and I couldn't keep up with it. But I loved my feed when I was doing this. So this is just a little, view of what I used to do, and I got the most hits on my pictures when I was doing a feed like this. One last little tip that I want to hit on is the background of your photos and why that really matters. So you really want to pay attention to the background of your photo. The background of your photos can make a very big difference, especially if you want to make a professional and cohesive page. You want to make a feed with a white theme, which is like a minimalist white theme. You are showing products or food. You are color coordinating. Pay attention to the background of your photos and the quotes. Keep it clean. Don't distract too much. Only draw attention to the background if it's the most important part of your photo. The reason being is if you're taking a picture and you have a picture of a chair and it's in a living room and you're trying to touch on how beautiful this chair is because you're trying to sell it. If you have little kids running in the background, or your garbage is overflowing in the background, it's going to ruin the picture. But sometimes we don't always notice those things, so you want to make sure that you take your eye and you look in the background before you snap your photo. The next thing is how to choose the perfect filter. A filter will make or break your theme. Choose one filter and stick with it. Using the same filter on all of your photos is the easiest way to create a cohesive feed. Choosing the perfect filter depends on 3 things: the theme style that we talked about in step 1, the photos you take, and the colors in your photos. Now, keep in mind, you can't choose a filter and take photos with all sorts of different lighting going on and just slap a filter on it and expect it to look good. You must have similar lighting, location, meaning indoor and outdoor, and time of day. Because if you're taking a photo and there's a flash and it's nighttime, and you're using a filter that you would normally use when you're outside at the beach and it's sunny midday, the filter is not going to work and look good. So keep that in mind and don't get that mixed up.